Hi, guys. Welcome to Double Shot of Steelers, presented by FanDuel. I'm Dejan Kovacevic, and he is Chris Halleck. We're from DK Pittsburgh Sports. We cover your favorite football team, and we do it with such diligence. Who drew the short straw? Who gets Thanksgiving practice tomorrow, Chris?
Jose.
Jose does. Jose is a team player.
He is the best backup.
Oh, no.
To go back to the joke, hey, he started it.
He really did. He's a better backup than Mason Rudolph, pal. The Steelers did have a practice today. The Steelers did generate some news out of their from their injury report and so forth. Guys who are missing, guys who didn't participate but will ultimately play. What you got there, Chris?
Yeah, going through it right now because I've been kind of scrambling through a number of things. DK Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Skoranek, Broderick Jones did not practice, and also Derek Harmon did not practice. All of that was anticipated. Obviously, there were certain guys like Jonnu and TJ who also did not practice, but that was because of like vet rest days, so not injury related. A couple of limited guys. Joey Porter Jr. was limited with his hip. Alex Highsmith was with his pectoral, and Isaac Seumalo also on vet rest, and Cam Hayward with his ankle was limited too. Not too many real surprises, but Aaron Rodgers still being a DNP to start the week is noteworthy for sure, especially whenever Mike Tomlin boasts, quote, great optimism, unquote, that he will be returning to start at quarterback. So we'll have to monitor that tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah, that's just monitoring the situation. That's all. Managing, I should say. That I wouldn't read anything into that.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I think you're just saying, all right, here, go out there one day, see how it feels, let it relax the next day, go back out there Friday, have yourself a nice practice, and then Saturday's walk through, and that's that. I'm not, this isn't based on any information or whatever, but there are patterns for this sort of thing. I have no doubt Rodgers will be the starter Sunday against the Bills. I have a lot of doubts about some of the rest of those names that you mentioned, including the ones that have already been declared out. And the Steelers are going to be banged up. And this is not a great time for them to be banged up. I feel like, Chris, I don't want to get dramatic here on this. It's week 13. The Steelers are decimal points. It's not even decimal points, really. It's tiebreakers out of first place. So you wouldn't think that it's dire. It just feels like the pivoting point here, It just feels like it's extreme. Imagine them, let's put it this way. Imagine them losing this game. Imagine them being 6-6 and having more of the same, because if they lose, it's going to be more of the same issues that come up. Think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, absolutely.
And it's just going to feel so dark and everything. And then going into Baltimore of all places.
And listen, Baltimore plays on Thanksgiving night against the Bengals. And yeah, Joe Burrow's coming back, but that Bengals defense still sucks. They're still just awful. And so the Ravens, if they come out of that and they're 7-5, and you lose to the Bills.
Oh, they're going to run away from you. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you play the Ravens the next week, and yes, you could, in theory, have the same record of them as them if you beat them, and then you'd have the tiebreaker, but then you still have to play them again, and you'd rather be up, a game with, the split head-to-head and then leave things up to division record and conference record, all that stuff. You got to win this game. That's the thing. And then, but even if they do, it would not surprise me if they win this game and then somehow in a couple of weeks lose to the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. It would not surprise me. That's
yes,
just what
it would.
No, it would not.
I keep hearing that from everybody. I don't buy it from anyone.
The Dolphins just throttled the Bills 30-13. They're capable of doing it.
I guess you'd still be surprised.
I would not. Nothing surprises me with this team. I can really say that after 12 weeks of watching this football team, and I'm so glad that Aaron Rodgers pointed it out too, because the questions from reporters today were like sometimes phrased in, well, the last 6 weeks, the last 6 games, because they've lost 4 of the last 6. And Aaron today was like, this is not just the last 6 weeks, like talking about some of the issues and the inconsistency. It's like, this has been all season. This is the beginning of the season.
Yeah, good for him on that too.
Yeah, because like I could say from watching this team for 11 games, I don't know what team is going to show up on Sunday.
Nope. Jackson wants to know if Derek Harmon's knee injury is the same that he hurt earlier in the season. The answer is no. The answer is no.
Well, I don't know if it's the same knee, and Mike Tomlin didn't know that either. But
yeah, it doesn't matter if it's not the same injury. Yeah, it's not an aggravation. Not the same injury.
Yeah. Correct.
So I wouldn't read anything into that, including compensation, because meaning that he'd be compensating with one knee over the other because it's the same knee. So there's really not much to be had there. DV Metalhead asks, DK or Chris, would 8 and 9 be better than 9 and 8 at this point? I tend to think yes. I know what you're doing. I also can say this. I haven't said it in a while though, so I'm gonna give it a shot today. Nobody in that city behind me talks about this stuff. Nobody talks about the 500 to whatever. Okay, that is something that gets discussed by media that does not cover the team. It gets discussed by people who are nowhere near Pittsburgh, meaning media, and I think as a result, it becomes an issue elsewhere. There's nobody here who says, if he only gets to a game above 500, that's a real great thing. That streak, whatever. Nobody. So it's not what keeps him propped up. It's not internally what has him or anybody else motivated. It just isn't. All of that stuff's been, look, if you go back like 3 or 4 years ago, whenever it was first started getting, really whispered about, again, not here, because nobody here would give a crap. You had some recollection of the last time they won a playoff game. That's all you have here. That's all anybody. That's all this is about, is winning in the playoffs. And that's all that gets discussed, is winning in the playoffs. Nobody would care if 9 and 8, 8 and 9, anything. If you think that his being 8 and 9 would be the domino that pushes the next row of dominoes to get him fired, I don't know what to tell you. It's just not a thing. It's not.
The thing that if Art Rooney ever decides enough is enough and does pull the plug on Mike Tomlin,
it won't be on that.
It won't be on that. It'll be because of the failure to win in the playoffs, to even win a playoff game. You could go 10-7 every single season for like 20 years in a row. And if you never win a playoff game, that's what ultimately matters. And so that, and also, and to your point, I think the majority of Steelers fans within the city and within the area do actually focus more on the playoff route more than the actual streak of winning records and 9 and 8 or better, or 8 and 8 or better. Non-losing seasons is the typical term that goes with it. It's the lack of playoff wins, and they have not won a playoff game since January of 2017. That is what irks the majority of Steelers fans, and should.
TD Ham says that Colin Cowherd said that all Pittsburgh fans and people, that's all that Pittsburgh fans and people from Pittsburgh care about. First of all, I'm aware of the name. I've never seen, heard, whatever this show is. Okay. Here's what I do know. Colin Cowherd has never spent a day of his life covering the Steelers. And I'm going to try something here for you guys. You see that window out there? Okay. See that bus that went by, that red bus? That's a Pittsburgh Rapid Transit bus. Okay. That's Fifth Avenue. When he says that's all that Pittsburgh fans and people from Pittsburgh care about, I'm going to show you one more time here. See the big FedEx truck? Okay. That's Pittsburgh out there. That's not from Pittsburgh. That's not Pittsburgh fans. That's actual bleeping Pittsburgh. I could start yanking people in off that sidewalk and asking them if they care about the 500 thing or if they ever even talk about it. It's just not an issue here. Okay? It's not. It's not an issue here. It's not an issue in the building. This idea that it's I don't know what someone in Albuquerque, New Mexico thinks about this. I don't know what someone who is from Pittsburgh, maybe 20, 30 years removed. I hear from a lot of you that are like, I don't know what they think of this. I don't even see a whole lot of it in our chat. It's the only time it ever comes up, by the way, is when it's coming from the outside. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's just not a thing. It's certainly not, something that would weigh into this.
I think
Frank
the only
says,
thing that
go ahead.
I would say the only thing that I think it actually is the butt end of a joke. Like that's it. Like I'm saying, like when it comes to like, they will literally be like, oh, we got to be 9-8, or it's a Mr. Coach 9-8 or Coach 8-8. That's a butt end of a joke. But when you actually ask fans what bothers you the most about this team, it's not the fact that they got to try to be 9-8. It's the fact that they are not winning in the playoffs. That is the issue. That's what people are pissed off about.
It's just the playoffs.
Yes.
Dave's here. Dave knows. The Steelers fans I talk to only want a playoff win. Nobody wants any of this other stuff. Nobody even talks about it. We have some harsh penalties here for certain infractions that are committed in our live chat. I don't know that there's a harsher one that we can offer than to misspell Chuck Noll's name.
Way too often.
It's just crazy how often it happens. It's the easiest last name. It's just 4 letters. It doesn't need your K in the front. Everything that gets discussed here is about the playoffs. Everything gets discussed about in the playoffs. Mark Cunningham says they talk about the streak during every Steelers broadcast. Okay, it's really annoying. Mark, who's doing those broadcasts? Are they Pittsburghers? Are they people who are here? Are they people who cover the team? I mean, you're making my point for me here. I mean, this is crazy that this thing ever even comes up. I think I shared with you, Chris, the story of the ESPN had me on last summer. Yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
And this is not a shot at these guys who were doing the show. They were really, really cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't remember their names right now. But they had me on, and they was like, here, from DK Pittsburgh Sports, and I don't know, let's talk about the Steelers and whatever. And what's the mood right now about this and that and whatever? And somehow Mike Tomlin came up, and I told them that he is spectacularly unpopular here right now. They were stunned.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't believe this. And I think part of that is because what I just mentioned, they don't cover the team. They aren't here. They probably couldn't find Pittsburgh on a map. But the other part is that they live in their own kind of echo chamber. One thing that you got to know about the talk show hosts and the hot takes people, whatever, they listen to each other.
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if people realize that. This is, they get their information from people like us that are covering the team, that are on location, that are in the locker room. Okay.
But even then, they twist it like crazy.
Right. Because they're listening to each other and they're going, hey, so-and-so on WPIT or whatever has come up with the hottest of hot takes. Now, if I used that hot take, I could be. I don't know why. Like, I see a bunch of you complaining about this Cowherd guy. Nicole says Cowherd hates the Steelers even before the Steelers beats you. He is not relevant. And yet you are not only talking about him, but you're citing his tendencies. There's a solution for this.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this out there. Listen, when we come back, we're gonna get to talking about football again and not cowherd, and we're gonna do that right after this very message.
For those of you who are doing real work in construction, in a warehouse, if you're a mechanic, you want reliable, comfortable gear to help you perform well on the job. Brunt Workwear's got you. They've got waterproof boots, safety toe, soft toe, pull-on, lace-up, whatever you need. You can wear them to work, and if they're not right for you, send them back. I don't know of any other brand doing that. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off. Just head to bruntworkwear.com. Use the code DK Sports and you're good to go. After you order, they'll ask you where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor here at DK Pittsburgh Sports and tell them it was from this show.
You guys, we are back. And we are here to talk about Steelers versus Bills because this is going to be our last show between now and then. Because we, like you, have family and all that other stuff. And we want to chase you out of here as well so that you can go spend time with your family and so forth. We're going to take your questions here in advance of that game. Ed Macbeth says, can we talk about the fact that coaches can't develop players, and therefore we overpay free agents and has-beens? This is the reason that we've lost the culture. That's a really broad subject, Ed. That might be one of those that would be best suited for like one of our summer shows or whatever. Because it's a legit thing. Is it the developing? Is it the drafting? Is it who knows? Okay, but what we do know is that the last handful of Kevin Colbert drafts were not terribly successful.
No.
And you lost out on assets as a result. I know people look at the Kenny Pickett thing, for example, and say, oh, no, Pickett didn't work out. Well, it's not that Pickett didn't work out. It's that a first-round pick didn't work out. Okay, that's the real issue. You lost an asset. You forfeited an asset. Can we ask you? No, our FedEx delivery guy is here. We're supposed to ask the next person who walked in the door on our live show here. Come on down here a little bit. Here, you just kneel down. You're right here. No, we got you in the show here. All right. Do you care at all about Mike Tomlin having a plus 500 season or a streak of 500 seasons?
No, I don't.
See, there it is.
In the check either.
He's not. Take it right from the FedEx guy, man. You can't get any more reliable source than that. Literally pulled the FedEx guy in off the sidewalk. You guys does not care. What were we talking about before the FedEx guy rudely interrupted us?
Oh man, what were we?
I don't even
about?
remember.
That got my attention. That was awesome. Oh man,
we don't even remember now.
We weren't even talking about Colin Cowherd that time.
No, we were talking about something else.
Oh, the draft and develop type thing.
Oh yeah, it's a real subject.
It's a real subject. But I do think that, like, listen, I understand. Okay, well, there are a lot of narratives that people like to stick to when it comes to the reason why the franchise is where the franchise is right now. And one of them is absolutely the failure to draft and develop. And is this Omar Khan's fault? Does he deserve some of the blame too? Well, Omar Khan's first draft was 2023. And the time in which you can really truly judge a draft is by the time that you're coming up on how many of those guys you're either trying to sign to second contracts or end up signing to second contracts, because you're not going to bat 1,000 on that because it's a salary cap league. You're not going to be able to afford everybody. It is what it is. But when you look at the players that was taken in that first draft, we're just now starting to get to the point where we can start judging those players. We're talking Broderick Jones, Joey Porter Jr., Keanu Benton, Nick Herbig, Darnell Washington, Spencer Anderson, like those players from that class. We're just now starting to get to that point. Then we can start every year from that point on. Next year it'll be okay. Now we can start judging the 24 draft. The year after that, okay, now we can judge the 25 draft, and that's what that's the way you kind of go about this. I don't think we're at the place now where we can criticize the Kevin Colbert drafts, because not only like are we far enough removed from those classes, they're all dead and gone. Like they're all just gone. Like Mason Rudolph's like the only one left. And even then he had to leave to go to Tennessee and then come back. Like those drafts were not good, but it's too soon to start blaming Omar.
Way too soon.
Way too soon.
Way too soon. Plus, remember go ahead.
No, I'll say the only thing that I think that we can really truly criticize Omar on right now is the second wide receiver position, because it's been an issue for multiple seasons now. And I think that's the only thing that's at least worth a discussion. But when it comes to the draft, Omar's off limits until we figure out until at least the end of this season.
Steelers dude says, I live in the Buffalo area and this city is losing faith in their team. And I get that. Bills fans they're afflicted by nature. They have been stung in ways that are hard to describe to other humans. And
4 Super Bowls in a row, just losing.
Yeah, I mean them and Vikings fans, like they built up their fan base because getting to a championship will do that. But man,
yeah.
it really it's a bad thing, and then it gets passed on to your kids, and it doesn't really change.
Yeah,
until you finally push through, until you have your big moment. The Bills with Josh Allen have had all kinds of reasons to think that they're deserving of their big moment. And maybe this was even supposed to be a nice season for them. It hasn't been. This has been going on for the Bills since day one. They haven't been their best selves. I'm not sitting here saying this comparing them to the Steelers. I'm just saying on their own discussion point, they have had. They've also gone through a lot of tables too. This is accurate. Where is that here from Jackson? That's good stuff here. Yeah, all of that. There's just a lot of pain there. Music City Miracle. Everyone forgets the Bills were the other team in that scene. And even then, like Music City Miracle unto itself was an awesome thing. That franchise never won anything either. Mm-hmm. Meaning Titans / Oilers, but they had that.
They have that, and went on to the Super Bowl and lost by 1 yard against the Rams that year.
Yeah, they sure did, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, a metalhead one is complaining that I don't have Myron visible here because of the Christmas festivities here. I don't know where I can move this. I'm not putting him in front of Mario or Roberto, so you're gonna have to be patient here. See what you interrupted us here with this trivial stuff. Now I'm just moving it over here. We're just gonna deal with it like that. Myron can see you now. 4 Super Bowl losses in a row here. Schematics came up again today, Chris. Serge says, hey, DK and Chris, will the Schematics be the only thing holding this team back from winning a Super Bowl? No. Like, no. Whenever we bring up an issue, and it's the issue that we're talking about, there can often be a misperception that we see it as the issue or the problem. And no,
like there's one problem, right?
Yeah, it's not. They have problems. They have lots of problems. Cam Hayward said today, in a very telling, I thought, remark, it's not just the Schematics.
Just.
Oh, wow, Cam, what are you saying?
It's not.
He could have said it's not the Schematics, it's on us. He said it's not just the Schematics. I mean, the Schematics suck, but we're not playing well either. That's great.
Yeah, good stuff.
He's really smart enough to know the difference too.
Oh, 100%. He's been doing this for long enough. I mean, he's got his own podcast now. He's trust me, because Jose was the one who was in that scrum this morning. And as soon as I saw the video back, I'm like, oh, that's the comment. That's the comment of the day right there from Cam. Yeah, no, the schematics are obviously an issue. We've gone over that quite a bit, especially this week. But there are a number of issues, man. It's not just that. I mean, the players have actually shown that when the schematics are executed well, they work. It doesn't matter if they're in single high or in two high. It's worked. I mean, the Chargers game is actually a really good example. Like when it comes to the defensive perspective, was it the defense's best game? No, but were they bad in that game? No, they kept a lid on Justin Herbert. He only had one touchdown pass in the game. He only had one time in which he really escaped and did any kind of damage. They got back to him a whole lot in that game. They created a lot of pressure in that game. And they kept the team in the game while the offense did absolutely nothing. So, yes, the schematics can work. The problem with the schematics is that there's little margin for error. If a guy screws up, it ruins everything. And it's so easy to screw up because the line of execution and lack of execution is so razor thin that it's easy to screw it up. That's the problem.
There's a lot of back and forth here still about this Cowherd guy. Listen, I don't care.
Oh,
I mean, I could go through and answer every one of these the exact same way. I really don't care. One thing about the jobs that we have so much to do ourselves for our own coverage and our own app and our own shows that there's just no time. And I can speaking for myself, there's no inclination. No inclination. Chris and I do these really long drives together. You know, we go to, like, next week we'll be driving to Baltimore. That's not the longest drive. I'm being dramatic. But
No.
like, if you go 5-6 hours or whatever, the last thing we're putting on is one of these talk shows or whatever. We put on the ones where they'll do like the roundups and the scores and whatever. But Chris has seen what I'm like when there's a talk show on. Like, yeah, it's not pleasant. Because I don't know, maybe it's because I've spent a lifetime talking about or writing about teams that I actually cover. So I have a really hard time. Like, if somebody put me on and said, hey, can you talk about, I don't know, just pick the Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, I saw the Arizona Diamondbacks play 6 games last year. I know very, very little about them. The only reason I saw them play 6 games is because that's how many they played against these guys. That's it. I am not an expert on it. I have nothing to say about them. There's nothing to share of any worth to anybody. You know? It's
I'm laughing because I'm remembering the last road trip that we were on. And I swear, I don't know why we listened to the Sirius XM channel for as long as we did, but the snarky remarks that kept coming out of the passenger seat.
I just couldn't handle it. Like, why do people listen to this crap? I mean, we're stuck in the car here for hours. Why are people listening to this? And remember I remember what we were laughing about now. It's these names they come up with for themselves. Remember, it was like, there's 2 words for one person, and then there's another word for the next person. So it's like Smokey Joe and Bill, and you're like, whoa, it's the Smokey Joe. SpongeBob and Patrick, she says, funny lady over to the side here. And I'm like, who does this appeal to? And the music and the dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, it's like, whoa, it sounds really official. Whatever they think about my football team matters. It doesn't.
That does not matter.
Doesn't. They are not here. Matter. Frank says, why did you listen to it then? This one's easy. We were stuck in the car for 5 hours, so Chris can really sing. But I don't want to hear it in the car. Like, he can belt it out, but there's a difference between if it's coming off the windshield and everything, it's gonna be pretty powerful in there.
Yeah.
Yes, Steel in Utah says here, DK and Chris. That's not 2 words. Nice try, though. And it's not what we call the show either.
No.
We're people who actually cover. We cover the Steelers.
What we need to do next time is we need to get you to listen to some more Holy Diver covers. That's what we need to do.
Now that was worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
The man played a cover by who did it?
Kill Switch Engage.
Kill Switch Engage did a cover of Ronnie James Dio's Holy Diver, and it was really, really powerful. He put it up too, and he doesn't have much of a car stereo system too. But he went all the way up too, and like the speakers were like. Speaking of SpongeBob, you know how they pulsate when they do the jellyfish song. Those of you SpongeBob addicts,
yeah,
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, good stuff here. Good stuff. Yeah, DK and Chris in the morning. Sometimes they're funny. Often they're not.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Phineas and Serb is really good. He gets get a little nod over there.
These are people with children.
These are people with children. If anybody can do the entire song and knows all of the lyrics to the Phineas and Ferb theme, lifetime free subscription. Lifetime free subscription to the DK Pittsburgh Sports app. No cheating. Don't be looking up the lyrics to the Phineas and Ferb song. You got to get in here right now and type it up. Good stuff here. Yeah, but okay, now all of a sudden we've really junked this thing out. Wayne, who is this Nick Rallis? What is this thing? Why do we care? You sent this like 30 times today. Now he says, Chris, are you familiar with Nick Rallis?
No.
What's a Nick Rallis? Why is this the end of the world for Wayne to be sitting there hitting the send key 100 times?
No.
Maybe Nick is a friend of his. He wants to help Nick get some kind of job. Maybe Nick is a DJ. No idea what that means. You guys should pick a day and do a morning jockey voice theme.
He's the defensive coordinator of the Cardinals, by the way.
Why do we care about him?
Exactly.
No, is that because he wants Nick Rallis, whoever that is, to become the new head coach?
Yeah,
I guess so, right?
Because that's going to happen.
Frank Ray says that AC/DC and Judas Priest are the loudest bands to ever play. No. Sorry, but no. I think we all have a really good idea of who is the loudest band to ever play. Funny story, when I went to a Kiss concert once, I had I don't know, this was really dumb, but I had like one of these like straw things because I couldn't handle it. It was actually just too physically loud. And I went like this, and I took this and I rolled it up into a little ball like this, and I put it into both ears. The one ended up going the wrong direction.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. And it was in there for like 2-3 weeks.
Are you an adult?
No, I was in school. Yeah, one day in school, not to gross everybody out, but like the thing finally came loose. And I remember I could hear out of both ears again.
I could just
I didn't tell anybody about this.
I could just imagine Dolly. I'm just imagining Dolly's face just over there with just like.
Oh yeah, no, it got it. She loves when she has a story like that she can use against me as ammunition.
No, I thought you. No, that's,
but no.
Ammunition stories that you painted your brother's face with.
That was another one. Kiss ammunition story is that I painted my brother's face for that concert as Ace Frehley, the late great Ace Frehley, who we just lost a couple of weeks ago, and I painted his face using stuff that we had in the house. Not recommended, because one of those things that we had was the white one was hair remover. So my brother, who's 5 years younger than me, lost his eyebrows for quite some time.
I bet he did. Man.
Loudest band ever. will always be Kiss. Thomas Dowdy comes in with a $5 contribution. Says, I feel Minkah Fitzpatrick was sent off now because of his views on this. Oh, come on. No, you don't feel that. Jalen Ramsey has been awesome, but given everything now, it feels like they quieted him. You don't actually think that, Thomas. You don't move a player because they will offer scheme suggestions or recommendations. And if you're referring to the one NFL Films thing, Chris and I cited it yesterday, where Minkah noticed something on the field that was a miss. He got the coach's attention, and they went and they fixed it, and the Steelers got it. I believe it was an interception out of it.
I think
in the end zone.
It was either
They
a
got
stop
something.
or
They got
it was
something.
it was a good play for the defense.
It was a plus for the defense. Yeah, it was good stuff. Minkah was traded because they saw something at the other end. And we've seen that Mike Tomlin has displayed immense respect and everything else toward Jalen Ramsey. And it's something that I don't know if it's worked out or not. We're going to know that answer in a few weeks. But I don't have a problem with it. I think part of, Thomas, if you're looking for something that's more underlying related to Minkah, it's that he was going to eat up a lot of your cap for 2-3 years, and he was not that player anymore. I'm not sure if it's schematic or whatever. Minkah was an all-universe, like Hall of Fame track safety at the time the Steelers signed him to that extension. I don't want to be mean here. I still thought Minkah was a pretty decent football player, but he wasn't that. So they saw an opportunity to make a move, and that was that. Steel City Ryan drops $20 and says, thankful for the coverage this year. That's really cool, man. Yeah, thank you to DK, Chris, Dolly, and the rest of the DKPS crew. That's very, very, very cool of you.
Yeah.
DV Metalhead says, DK, I agree with you, but at the same time, there's definitely a reason that Tomlin will not hire James Harrison as a coach. He will speak his mind. No, he might not want Debo as a coach because he wouldn't be a good coach. This idea that somebody is a great player or whatever, that they could automatically become a terrific coach just because of name recognition or because you're aware of what they did as a player. Find this where it exists in sports. It does, but it's rare, and it's rare for a reason. Your best coaches in any sport, and that includes the various tiers of coaching, the assistants, the special assistants, the ones who just do the video work. The best ones are the ones who just sit there for 16, 17 hours a day, who have a cot or a couch in their office. You go from making $10 million a year. People, why doesn't Ben Roethlisberger come and coach? Ben's doing pretty well. Ben doesn't need 16-hour days, 7 days a week, and he's got kids and a family and everything else. That's why. There's some, why doesn't so-and-so become a coach either in hockey or in baseball? Because you got to go to the minor leagues and you got to ride buses. Somebody recently suggested that Andrew McCutcheon would make a fine coach for the Pirates. He'd have to start out in the minors. Again, it's just like, why would he do that?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of this narrative. And again, when we talk about narratives, I'm not a fan of this one. Tomlin only hires weak coaches. I think he's scared someone will get his job. It holds us back. If anything, Tomlin is too secure in his job security.
I like that. That's good. That's actually accurate. That's good.
It's not because he's scared of somebody taking his job. It's because he literally, I think he almost thinks that he's like, it's his job until he doesn't want it anymore. I mean, he did hire Brian Flores. Like, seriously.
Yeah, and he kept Dick LeBeau around for a long time. I just, this one doesn't.
He's hired multiple former head coaches as offensive coordinator.
Now, Kerry, where I'll actually agree partially with what you're saying is this. He does not want people who are disloyal or who are leaking stuff and that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
But no head coach and no manager wants that. None. Zero. So it's not a matter of do you want to hire weak coaches because of he thinks they're going to take his job. His job is secure. By the way, I've brought up his job a couple of times this week here. You got to understand, when's he signed through, Chris, next year? 2027? I think it's 27.
I think it's 27. I'll look it up.
I think it's 27 as well. You do that here. I'll keep blabbing. This team doesn't want to fire somebody who is the lowest level assistant coach when they still have time left on their contract. They're not going to want to do that with this coach. Now, you could have some kind of arrangement where there's a trade or something like that or whatever, but it would really, really, really take something to get this coach fired. What is it, 27? Did you find it?
It is 2027.
Yeah, 2027. That's not soon.
That's 2 more seasons after this.
Yeah. Yeah, that is not soon. Wayne is still frustrated. Come on, guys. No feedback on Nick Rallis as a potential head coach. Which part of we've never heard of him has not sunk in, Wayne?
Well, it's not even just that. Again, is Mike Tomlin actually going
feedback.
to be going anywhere?
I don't know. But Wayne Rallis for head coach.
Mike Tomlin is not going anywhere. Like that's when it really is one of those situations of yeah, go ahead.
I nominate the boss as the campaign chair person of the Wayne Rallis for head coach committee.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm sorry, Chris.
I understand that whenever the Steelers have certain vacancies, like when they you knew that they were going to be hiring a new offensive coordinator. You do all the research, you look up guys, you find out, okay, they're going to be interviewing this guy. You do some homework. I did all that stuff. I wrote in-depth pieces on Zach Robinson and Clint Kubiak and all these guys right ahead of when they hired Arthur Smith. And when they hired Arthur Smith, I did a deep dive on him. Doing anything at all on a potential head coach for the Steelers does not matter until Mike Tomlin is actually fired. And when I say actually fired, I mean it's actually a press release given by the Pittsburgh Steelers themselves, because it's like, I'll only believe the Pirates sign Kyle Schwarber and if the announcement really, really comes from them, from the Pirates themselves. It's the same thing with the Steelers and firing Mike Tomlin. I'm only going to believe that Mike Tomlin will not be the coach of the Steelers anymore once that little graphic pops up with Art Rooney's quote on it that says, "We have relieved Mike Tomlin of his duties as head coach." That's the only time. And then we can start looking at head coaches. Until then, it's wasted breath, wasted everything. That's my two. I'm off my soapbox.
No, that's fair. One of the things that I have found myself over the years covering the man's career, including these most recent low points, is that after the Baltimore game, the playoff game, and I, for the first time, called for his firing. Did that in print, did it in spoken form, everything. Didn't do it with any glee or malice or anything, just listed out, these are things that he's bad at. This is why he should not be the coach and why the Steelers would be better off going in a new direction. Okay. But the headline didn't exactly tiptoe. The headline was "Fire Mike Tomlin." You might remember it. It was really big. That's not one of those ones that you want to just kind of, squeeze through the door sideways on. Yeah. You make the point. You'd better make the point. You'd better have something.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did that. And then I realized that only about 90% of the reaction was going to be, well, they're not actually going to do that. And there's a difference between calling for something and then expecting that it'll happen.
Right.
Okay. But is there merit still in calling for it? I believe that in the columnist / commentary role that there is. I don't believe, for example, because I've been on that train even more intensely, way more intensely, actually, regarding the Pirates general manager, Ben Cherington, who's just the worst executive in all of sports.
Well, sorry.
I mean, what do you want me to say?
Well, I was gonna say until Nico Harrison was fired from the Mavericks, he traded Luka Doncic.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of conspiracy theories as to why that happened. That was, that it was forced by the owner because she's trying to get the team to move or something like that. There's all kinds of weird stuff related to that thing. But where this is concerned, going at people or saying that they should be fired, it's still a stance.
Yeah,
you're not saying that they're going to do it. You're still saying that what I think of the job that this person has done to date is that they should no longer hold that job. That's a stance. That's a fair thing to take. It's not a prediction. It's not a forecast. It's not an expectation that it's going to happen. But you still got to say it. It's like when Nick Rallis becomes the head coach here in Pittsburgh. Did we lose Wayne yet? Did we chase him away?
We might have.
I'm looking for Wayne. Yeah, I think Wayne's just said hell with these guys. I'm not getting Nick Rallis any love on this show. I'm out of here.
That's
what
phenomenal.
A ridiculous episode you guys tuned into.
Right before Thanksgiving too. On Thanksgiving Eve, just. Yeah.
David Harr says that Tomlin's more likely to retire than get fired. Neither is happening. No, but you can find a way. Look, Kyle Dubas fired Mike Sullivan. Sullivan won 2 championships to Tomlin's 1. Sullivan was here with the Penguins for a decade. He oversaw some of the greatest players in hockey history while he was here. And they just said, look, this isn't working. This isn't fitting. And they figured out a way. It was a mutual parting of the ways. I don't know what the press release was. And then Kyle Dubas holds the press conference at the podium where it's really, really clear he told Sullivan to get lost. They find a way.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. The only thing, if you think Tomlin's going to walk away from $32 million and retire because pressure.
I'm not good at my job anymore.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Right. That's actually more ridiculous. If Tomlin stands there at the podium and says, I'm stepping down now because A, I'm not good at my job anymore, and B, Nick Rallis could do it way better than me. That's gonna be something that is not gonna happen.
Yeah. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Because Wandering Warrior says here, because nothing is going to change with the Steelers. It's disheartening and frustrating. Yeah, it sucks your hope out. That's what it does. We did lose him, by the way. I'm going up and down the chat. He's gone.
Yeah.
That's too bad, actually.
Didn't get Nick Rallis any love.
What if it actually was Nick Rallis?
It might have been Nick Rallis.
Like if he just comes in it comes in like 5 minutes from now and the handle is not Nick Rallis.
Well, what's going to be really, really funny is the day that Nick Rallis is introduced as Steelers head coach, before he even says anything, he's going to be like, by the way, there was that one podcast back in November on Thanksgiving.
Totally sealed the deal for me, baby.
I knew this is where I wanted to coach.
Oh, my goodness. We're thankful for a lot of things. We're going to sign off here for the week. Speaking for myself here, I'll let Chris do that for himself. I'm thankful for you guys who are here with us, and you know who you are on a regular basis, that shows up here and gives the show the hopefully the overall feel that it has. And that's a community feel. That's actually really, really cool. That's something that we've always pushed for at DK Pittsburgh Sports. Our motto has been coverage that connects. We try to connect with you. We try to talk with you, go back and forth. We don't hide behind our bylines or anything like that. You guys are with us all the time. The other thing that we're thankful for, to be totally honest with you, is Chris B.
Good Lord.
Dropping
Chris.
$100 on the process.
Seriously.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. So I'll let our Chris take over from here.
I finally got some light. Finally, yeah, I'm very, very thankful for each one of you guys. Like seriously, this show is a lot of fun. I'm thankful for all of our subscribers on our app. Also, like again, it's rewarding every day. Yeah, some of those comments can be frustrating sometimes. It can be a little like, oh gosh, the world is coming to an end, the sky is falling. But overall, man, the community feels a lot of fun. I'm thankful for my job. Honestly, I'm thankful for getting to do what I do for a living. It's a ton of fun. So I'm thankful for a lot of things, and of course, I'm thankful for my wife and kids.
Yeah,
they're the best. They're my whole world, man.
our kids are home.
Yeah,
They're
that's
home.
cool.
It's actually really, really, really cool. I hope that all of you get to enjoy your families and your holidays. And the one thing that I'll say is, especially since we've lost some important people in the Steelers' immediate family, never take a single day that you have for granted. Never take anything that you have, notably your health. Work toward it. Strive toward being healthier. She's doing that. I'm not. But yeah, we love having you guys, and we will see you again on Sunday night from Acrisure Stadium. Chris and I will be out there on the rotunda talking about the Steelers' big pivotal victory against the Bills and what it means to them going forward. That's not a prediction either. We'll see you guys Sunday night.